Hey y'all, welcome back to another math video. Today we're going to explore domain and range uh, as they relate to function tables. Let's go ahead and get started with something kind of fun to begin with. Are there any golf balls on the moon? And if you believe there are, how many do you think there are? We will get back to that. Let's do the target. Today's target: I can identify the domain and range of a function table. Here we go. Looking at a real world example. Hello, my name is Arnie the armadillo. Sorry, I just thought I'd do that. An armadillo sleeps 19 hours each day. Write an equation using two variables to show the relationship between the number of hours, h, an armadillo sleeps, in d days. So here's the way they set this up. We've got the input over here, and this is the number of days. And then you got the function rule, which is to multiply it by 19. Because if he slept one day, you'd multiply that by 19 hours for a total number of h hours of 19. See the way the function table works? So for 2 hours, or 2 days times 19 hours, a total of 38 hours. So we've got our two variables working here. So that's the function table. 3 times 19, and 57. So if we scroll down just a little bit further here, you'll see that the number of hours equals 19 times the number of days. Make sense? You could even graph this, and this would be your x, and this would be your y on a standard graph. All right, let's get into this a little bit more, but I want to look at the vocabulary specifically first. So here's a typical function table where you've got the input or the x, you've got the function, and then you've got the y or the output. So this here is going to be the domain, and this is going to be the range. So domain is the x value, domain. The y value is the range. So the function on this one is x plus 1. So if we put in 1, y, it's going to be 1 plus 1 because it's the x plus 1 that equals 2 for the y. So you'll see each time here I've put in the x value. Now I put in an x value of 2. So the function is x plus 1. So 2 plus 1 equals the y, which is 3. So this is the way a function table works. Today, all we need to do is identify what's the domain and what's the range. So if you think you're a little confused now, just stay with me because I'm going to make it very simple in the next slide. So what is the domain and range of this function table? So we've got all these numbers here, but all we're interested in is the domain and the range. And the way you express those are by listing a set of values. So the domain is 1, 2, 3, 4. They're right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because these are the values in the x in the domain table, or the domain side. The range is 3, 6, 9, 12. You take the y values, and those become the range. Simple enough? Okay. Remember, domain, range, and here's the function piece right here. So let's have you try this one on your own. What is your domain and range of the following function table? I want you to pause it for a second and write them down. And we're back. If you did it right, you would have said the domain are these numbers over here. 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the range is -7, -5, -3, -1, and 1. Okay? Did you notice how I put these in parentheses and I separated them by commas? That's the way we express a domain and a range when we give that set of values. All right. One more for you to try on your own. What is the domain and range of the following function table? Go ahead and write those down for me. You ready? Here we go. There they are. There's the domain, 0, 3, 5, 7, 10, and 12. And the range, 0, 12, 20, 28, 40, and 48. Now, one little tip. Have you noticed how I always say domain and range? Domain and range? they will always appear as x and y. X and y, domain and range. X, y, domain and range. So they appear in the order in which we say them, domain and range. Just like x and y. X comes before y, domain comes before range. Hope that helps. All right, here's your ticket to the show for tomorrow. Please take a look at this function table right up here and identify the domain and the range. It's just one question, so identify them and make sure you label them so I know you understand what the difference is. All right, let's get to the JFF and see what we got going. Are there any golf balls on the moon? And if so, how many? Yes, there are golf balls on the moon, and it's kind of a puzzle. Some of the people say that there are 3 on the moon, and other people say that there are only 2. I guess in the 1991 interview, Alan Shepard said that there were only 2 on the moon. I couldn't find that video, but I did find this video here that shows him actually hitting the golf ball on the moon. I took and embedded this into my browser this time. We'll see how that works. It's a short video, really poor quality. So some of the information I saw said, well, he hit 3 times, but one of those times he had missed the ball and he swung again to hit it. So anyway, just a little moon trivia for you, and we are done. Thank you for watching. Enjoy your evening, and I will see you tomorrow.